Hello there, everyone. Zantok here with Select Star Gaming, and welcome to another episode here of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Continuing on from the stream archive footage that I played a while back, but let's go ahead and kick it off to Past Me, who's going to be continuing through the game. Take it away. Okay, let's see here. I want to check the flowchart to see where we're at on it. Okay, so we're probably going to have another escape room here, then we'll have some more story, and then we can probably do some skips. Why is this locked? That's curious. These show locked now. Can I no longer see these parts of the story? Because I went down this track? Huh. Curious. They stepped to the doors to find themselves in a wide hallway.
Ah, another hallway.
Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stop for a moment and look at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway.
Come on, open!
It's not going to open because you rattled it, you know.
Damn it!
It took hold and shook, but it refused to move.
Look over here!
Nearby was a pair of elevators.
And the buttons? Of course they don't work.
The power must be out here too, just like by the staircase.
That leaves this door. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yeah.
Sure does.
Well then, let's open it.
All right, here I go.
Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. He entered slowly, trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly.
Oh, so it's a kitchen.
Santa did not look pleased.
What were you expecting?
Isn't it obvious? The exit? I was hoping this would be the way out of here.
That's naive.
You really think it'd be that easy?
Yeah, I know. Still.
As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. Until at last, she stood in front of a door.
If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that grate we saw earlier.
But don't we need a key for that?
No good.
Guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy.
Anyway, let's take a look.
Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did,
Hey,
What's that?
Huh? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B deck.
before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him.
let me see that.
She ran her finger across it, muttering to herself.
I knew it. See? Look.
Yes, hold your horses.
Junpei did as he was told.
What did you figure out?
Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well.
This is handy.
See? We came in here. Now if we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate.
Great! With her finger, Lotus traced a path on the map.
How about that? She's right. We can get out through there.
There we go. Here, you can have it back.
Satisfied that she had been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei.
Thanks.
He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket.
There's a card reader on the right side of the door.
And that means the key card is somewhere in here, right?
That seems the most likely.
All right, we know what we need to do then. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues.
Okay.
The kitchen! Great, now I'm hungry. A voucher. It says, appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. I'm just gonna Write that down just in case I need it. Okay. Those 9 plates look pretty expensive. They're plates for appetizers. Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. For some fucking reason. Well, excuse me, princess. 1, 2, 3, there's 10 of them. If you flip these over, it looks like hats. The middle is super deep for a plate. They're soup plates. Just use a fucking bowl. They're made that way so the soup doesn't spill. If we ever get out of here, you should treat yourself to a nice dinner out. Well, what makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that? I think there are 15 of these plates. I'm assuming they're for seafood. How the hell can you tell that? They look just like any other plate from the 99-cent store. If you ever take a lady out to dinner, you're going to embarrass yourself. I feel sorry for June. I don't know why you would. Why the hell are you bringing up June? The lady doth protest too much, methinks. You are not terribly subtle. He wasn't when he was staring at you in the last timeline, at least. There's a bunch of little wavy ridges on this plate. Those plates are for serving meat. You really are ignorant, aren't you? Come on, it's not like I need to know this crap. Jeez. That's the exit. There's a big old iron plate over the door. I don't think we can open it. A countertop. We've got a rolling pin and a colander. Nothing useful, in other words. What about these? It's kind of far away. I can't really tell, but is that a ladle? I don't really think a ladle is going to be very useful. It's a little bit rude. There's a light hanging from the ceiling. Hey, Santa, could you open that door, please? What the hell? There's no way I could open that thing. Guess you're getting to that age where your eyes start to go, huh? You'd better watch your mouth, boy, or someone won't live long to see that door opened. This has get the two of them on edge. We gotta get out of here, and fast. There's a tank with a pipe coming out of it. Nothing really that special about it. Okay, well, alrighty then. It's a bolt, and it's really rusty. Will this even open? Well, won't know till we try. Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see if you're gonna come out. Damn. No dice. Well, I can move that doorknob. Then I bet all we'll need to do is get that bolt off. Wow. This pot looks like it's made out of silver. I bet drinking tea from this pot would be really yummy. Spending a day off with June, drinking tea. Does such a day ever happen for me? Boy, I hope not. Junpei? Oh, nothing. We don't really need hot water, so we should be moving on. Okay. It's a lot of notes. They've got a bunch of stuff written on them. It doesn't look like a code or anything like that. Okay. There's so much stuff in here. A whole lot of cans. There's probably a pantry. There are cans lining every shelf in here. Wooden box in the second row, though. Knife.
A rusty knife? I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this.
The knife seemed important, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was.
It's futile.
Futile?
You know, a waste, useless, pointless.
Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up?
Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility.
Huh?
She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his question.
Why were you thinking about futility?
At last, she answered.
Well, it has something to do with the Titanic.
The Titanic?
Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted?
Nope, I haven't.
No, I haven't. What is it?
In 1892, 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novel was published. It was called Futility. It was written by an American novelist named Morgan Robertson. The story was about a big cruise ship colliding with an iceberg and sinking. Of course, if that was the only similarity, there wouldn't be any reason to mention it. It wasn't, though. The name of the ship, its nationality, course, departure time, size, displacement, maximum speed, number of passengers and crew, the number of lifeboats, even the location of the accident itself, and the cause and the location of the damage. Everything matches the Titanic almost exactly. It was almost as if he'd seen the whole thing happen.
Is this guy one of the writers for The Simpsons?
But this book was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But that's not all. It wasn't just futility that predicted the sinking of the Titanic. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead. Both of them before the accident. One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided. Many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank.
I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships.
Right, I knew you'd say that. But...
Because
what
you're
if Stead
psychic.
had some sort of special powers? To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing?
What?
What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about when someone's possessed by a spirit and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull. Okay, let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this Stead dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff?
That's not it.
What's not it?
Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing.
What?
What are you smoking?
William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes 20 years before it happened.
What? He said it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If you were to take what she was saying seriously, he would go mad. Junpei smiled uncomfortably.
Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
But
Her voice trailed off, and she glanced at the floor, troubled.
Come on, let's get back to it.
How are you enjoying this game so far? Pretty good, actually. This is my third stream of it. Last weekend, we reached our first ending. We got the safe/zero lost ending on our first time through. And this time around, I'm doing opposite doors, just trying to see what we can see this time around. So, June's being very weird, though. It's a fucking good game, though. I'm planning to get all the other endings, and we'll just see what order we get them all in. I know that there's a true ending. I don't know how to get it, other than apparently the ending I already got is a prerequisite. That's the extent of my knowledge so far. But I want to find out who the fuck is Zero. I have theories, but I want to know for sure. Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Oh, nice. The Zero lost ending is hard to get on a first playthrough. Yeah, I was, one of the other viewers on here, Kelly, he told me that apparently it was not common for people to get on their first time through. I was just like, I took like a little bit of pride in that, just a little bit. Because I like to examine things whenever I'm playing a game like this. Like, I like to click on everything. So, click on the safe was, since that was apparently a prerequisite, I was like, as long as I went through the correct doors, I was always going to get that. Because I just like clicking everything. Even when sometimes it's completely stupid, like the goddamn toilet that had nothing to do with anything that annoyed me. Like, why give me a toilet room? There's nothing in there. Oh, we're really in trouble. I know I'm just repeating myself, but this is really a futility moment. That blade is so rusty. Yeah, I know. We can't cut a damn thing with a knife like this. If we're going to cut anything, we probably have to sharpen the knife. Makes sense. So, if we can find like a whetstone or something. There are a number of cheeses lined up on the shelf. This is Gouda cheese, the most famous Dutch cheese. If you don't cut open the casing, it usually won't go bad. So you can store it at room temperature for quite a while. So we can eat this? Most likely. Huh. I'm not hungry. At all. I guess it's hard to get hungry in a situation like this. Put the cheese on the shelf. Sweet. God, the fact that I can click on all these. Hey, there's something behind the cheese. You're right. Why don't we move some of the cheese? Alright guys, time to move it. Jun and I need to look behind you. There's a little green bottle back there. Ah, here we go. This is what I needed. Oh look, cooking oil. Ooh, you could probably use this to make something slippery. Nope, okay, but it's gonna be for that other thing. I gotta click cheeses. Oh, they're all just gonna say sweet? Well. Alright, fair enough. Can I click that one? I can! Junpei, you're searching with such tenacity. I don't think you have to search down there. I just want to be sure. Listen. I'm the guy that checks under the table, in case something is taped down there. It's just gonna have to deal with it, Jun. That is not where I clicked, game. There's milk in here. Milk in an iron barrel? Judging by the rest, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it then. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. I clicked this fucking thing when it thought I was clicking the... Oh, okay, this is all part of it. Okay, I see. See, they're saying there's a barrel. I don't see a damn barrel, but alright. Looks like some kind of large tin container. Well, it's empty. Alright, there's all the cans. Alright, let's do this. Of course, maybe if I put some oil on it. Hey! Just a little bit of oil and... Come on! Come on, you little son of a bitch! Whoa. Huh. Gotcha, you little bastard. You did it, Junpei. You're so smart. I know. Oh, good. A freezer. As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat.
Oh, it's cold in here. What is this place?
Are you blind? It's a freezer.
Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation. Yeah, she would be.
Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me.
Then you can stay outside the room.
I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you.
And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, Jun came in.
Oh, whoa. It's really cold in here.
White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. Jun had already started to shiver.
Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this.
That's a fair point.
No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now.
For now, you have one every 5 minutes. Junpei had scarcely opened his mouth.
Huh?
With a thunderous sound of metal upon metal ring out from behind them, in unison, they spun around to find that the door they had only recently come through was closed. Junpei rushed to the door.
No! Why did it suddenly close?
Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob.
Ah!
It was cold. Beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful.
The knob's frozen.
But why?
They quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured.
It looks like the pipe next to it broke, and...
Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen it instantly. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door.
Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door!
She wasted no time in
What do
responding.
you want? What's going on?
The door won't open! Try opening it from that side, please!
Oh, fine. Like, if you say so. Hold on.
Soon, they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. Then the grunting ceased, and they could hear Light panting as if from exertion.
It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out.
Wow.
Oh,
God damn it.
Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies.
Anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents.
2 heads are better than none.
There's 3 of us here.
I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room, okay?
Right.
They pushed in, close to one another, and began to search. Let's see here. Would you believe me if I told you they are gonna go on another tangent while inside this damn freezer? Yes. Yes. I would. Let's fuck it. It's a locked room inside of a locked room. Oh, that's not clickable. Okay. Well, obviously this is gonna be. Oh, I'm surprised that opened. Dry ice! Okay. Dry ice? Can't you make that stuff cause an explosion if you seal it in something that's airtight? Explode? Yeah, didn't you do that in school? No? You should never underestimate the power of expanding gas. I never made any explosions in school. What the fuck are you on about? Good God. Junpei picked up the dry ice with his sleeves so as to avoid burning himself.
Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah, it is.
I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again.
Hell if I know. How is that gonna help us anyway?
Oh, well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here.
You know, I don't think an explosion in a room this small to try and open that door is going to be a smart idea. They're about to move on when June spoke up.
Carbon dioxide sublimation point is negative 109 degrees. Any warmer than that, and it'll turn into gas. Any lower, and it becomes a solid.
Junpei looked at her, dumbfounded.
Oh, how do you know that?
Despite my looks, I'm the the queen of random knowledge.
Yeah, I'm starting to think it's less random knowledge
Looks bad to
and
mess up
more
when you're
you
showing
sus
off.
as fuck.
Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb?
Yes, that's right.
You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you?
June giggled, and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself. That is now my favorite June scene in the entire game.
Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird?
Maybe a little bit.
I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first.
Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei. You know, I mean, I do want out of the freezer now, but let's see what this is all about.
It is kind of weird.
June answered.
But it can turn into a liquid. Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. But at 1 atmosphere, normal air pressure.
It won't turn into a liquid, right?
That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating and change immediately from a solid state to a gaseous one.
See, that is weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide?
June replied with an answer that stunned
There's
both
a
of them.
kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees.
Huh?
I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees.
Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees?
You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees?
Yeah, well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees.
Yes, because melting point, freezing point, same thing. Water that freezes at 96 degrees. Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Junpei was cold as hell. This was too interesting to ignore. He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and stamping his feet, then put the question to Jun.
So what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called?
Yeah, I know, right? Let's learn about science. I kind of wish we all Trail was here right now, since he's the science teacher.
I heard it's called Ice 9.
Ice 9?
Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author.
This sounds familiar. Was this mentioned in the previous pack we did, or am I getting this on from something else?
But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists.
Wait,
Familiar.
hold on. So is this thing called Ice 9, or is it water?
Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify. So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here,
Good spell,
think of
polymorph.
it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different.
So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that?
Yup.
She wasn't finished.
Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin? For
No.
150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it. They did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin on its way to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Scientists around the world wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and asked for seeds. Oh, a seed is a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be easy. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, even the samples nearby did, even though they were tightly sealed. And it didn't end there. After that day, it doesn't matter where in the world it is. All glycerin crystallizes naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees.
What?
Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like... how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating.
Okay. This is like the third time this kind of stuff has popped up in this game.
Communicating in some way that we can't sense. And now it's happening everywhere.
Apparently, Junpei was... Where's the confused option? Was honestly impressed. It was, in fact, a pretty interesting story.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. But, what does that have to do with Ice 9?
To his surprise, it was Santa and not June who answered.
What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean.
A lot like? Oh, that would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees, man.
That'd be
The
weird.
end of the world.
Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the end of the world with the proper concern.
At any rate, we're not gonna have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick.
It's true. He was right. Junpei shivered.
Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far off topic. I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. So seriously, I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland.
Technically be Greenland, but alright.
I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here.
Santa stumped off, even though this is a tiny room, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him.
Selfish, isn't he?
Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to their
Ice 9
search.
is interesting and all, but we can discuss it more once we get out of this freezer.
Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed his search of the room. There's water dripping from this pipe. Looks like when the pipe burst, the water hit the doorknob and froze it in place. This water actually seems almost warm. Hey, Junpei. Didn't you find some dry ice earlier? Yeah. There's warm water coming out of that pipe. Warm water and dry ice. What do you think would happen if we put that stuff in a sealed container together? Before we do that, this thing is covering something. It's frozen solid. I can't flip it over. I want to see what else is in here. Can I see more things? Is there going to be any more things? Oh my god, I get more things. Excellent. I now have a frozen chicken. It's really hard. It's frozen stiff. Hey, June, can you say that again? Huh? Say it again. It's really hard. Again. Why are we what the fuck? Junpei! You are a goddamn weirdo. If it's that hard, you can probably use it as a hammer. Yeah, good point. Maybe we can use it to break something. Fucking... God damn it, Junpei. Alright, that's all that we can get in there. I worked as a caterer once. I remember going into a freezer room like this for 2 minutes at most, and it was so cold. How they used to manage, I have no clue. It's called video game... This thing's frozen solid. This pork? Yeah, seems like it. What's this thing? Looks like a tag or something. And now I have a fucking chunk of pork. Okay. Junpei, is there still paper in that meat? I think there's something written on here, but I can't read it like this. If we try and pull it out, it'll probably rip. You need to defrost that. Don't think we're going to be doing that in this room. Anything else? Nope, just the whole damn thing. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything else interesting. Rope that's not frozen? It's a rope. Well, we could use to attach something to something else, I suppose. There's so much stuff in here. Why don't we take some of it out, Junpei? Well, okay, there we go. Water bottle! Excellent. Water bottle! Yes, it is. Okay, yeah, there's nothing else. Okay. So, let's do some shit here. Beat the ice with the chicken. Let's start off by putting dry ice to the water bottle. Oh, but that's not what I wanted to do. Well, you gotta figure out a way to make it smaller then, don't you, genius? Ah. Alright, the dry ice is all in pieces now. Guess the chicken's not a murder weapon, huh, Ozza? I'm gonna put these pieces of dry ice into the water bottle. There's a warm water flowing from the pipe. Oh, that's not what I want. No, god damn it. Not yet, Junpei. We're not going to get to it unless you can somehow hook that bottle to the doorknob somehow. It's got to explode right next to the ice on the doorknob. Okay, so I got to get the rope. And let's just tie a rope on here. Water bottle bomb! Okay. Alright. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door.
Put water into the bottle with dry ice, and make sure the lid's closed. Now I just have to put this makeshift bomb on the doorknob. Alright, that's set. So, what do we do now?
We just need to give it a little, tap. The bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll go off all on its own.
A small rock. Huh. A small rock.
I got pork! Junpei looked down at the floor. Scattered across it were pieces of dry ice left over from the larger chunk he crushed earlier.
This ought to do the trick.
Don't pick that up with your bare hand. Okay, there we go. He pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned and grabbed the chunk of dry ice.
Dry ice, huh? Not a bad idea.
It was a pretty good size. About as big as a pool ball.
Alright guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere.
Yeah. Both Santa and Jin looked at him with new concern.
Where exactly do you expect us to hide?
The floor panel opening, maybe?
There isn't really anywhere big enough.
Yeah, there is. Look, right here. We can hide in there.
Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar.
Come on, get inside, quick.
Santa and Jun nodded and jumped down into the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand, you could feel this chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw.
All right, here I go. 3, 4, 5.
What?
Counting the wrong way.
Oh, oops.
That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man.
Sorry, dude. All right, for real this time. You guys ready?
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Just throw the damn thing.
All right, here I go. 3, 2, 1.
Junpei threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June, just as... Junpei leapt up out of the cellar and ran to the door.
Jumpy! The ice on the door! Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
The blast must have shattered it.
Yes. All right, let's see if it opens.
Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. The door gave way easily, and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once.
Hooray! We're out!
June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor.
Move!
Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed.
Oh, god damn it! Hot, 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 hot. Fuck!
He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amazing fit of rage.
Well, you did just grab the grill. What did you think would happen? Hey, where's Lotus?
It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest.
Welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys.
With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off of the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her.
What were you doing?
What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting.
We were gonna die.
Oh, yeah? But you didn't. So everything worked out all right, didn't it?
What the hell?
Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried.
Oh, don't give me that crap.
I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here, and I'd die too. See? I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door. But I couldn't find anything. So, all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops?
She's got a point. It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth.
Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you.
What's that?
You didn't close the door, did you?
What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too.
Yeah, I guess so.
It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure.
If she really wanted to kill us, all she had to do was bar the door from the outside. But she didn't. Well, she didn't do anything. She's only lazy, or negligent at least, not an attempted murderer.
Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Oh, yes, well that's all right. As long as you understand.
Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the girl complete, Santa swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus.
Hey, no more screwing around, you two. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while we were freezing to death.
How rude! I was plenty busy.
Yeah. How about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go.
Okay, well, he's not a very happy person right now. So, chunk of pork, we got hot water. Let's see what this note is. Okay, well, before they said there was hot water, I guess we don't want to do that. Cool. Oh, I don't think I ever saw this screen. Or from this view. God damn it, there were things I was missing. Fuck. Maybe this table's for preparing food. There are plates everywhere. A sink. It's still got water in it. There's a couple of plates in there, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. But what if we put the pork in here to soak and, warm up? Hey, whetstone! I was looking for one of these earlier. Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. Hey, Santa Kanaza, you're both playing Legends Arceus, right? Hope you're liking it so far. Any guesses for the reveals for the Pokemon Day Direct tomorrow? Well, I've completed Arceus outside of like perfecting all the Pokedex entries or doing any shiny hunting, which, yeah, I was opening up after the past couple of days just when I was bored and I didn't really want to do anything else. And I did get a couple new shinies. I got Lickitung yesterday, actually. As far as like Pokemon Day Direct, there's a chance of DLC. I know there's rumors of DLC. I was actually looking at some stuff earlier before we started this, but I don't know if we're gonna get anything like that. Some people have been saying we're gonna see Gen 9 also this year. I don't know, possible. If we are, this is gonna be the day to do it, because February is when they like to reveal the new mainline stuff. Before we've seen some spin-offs, I'd like to see. I think it's time for a new Pokemon Ranger. I didn't play them too much, but I think we're definitely overdue. Maybe we'll get a remake of the original, like how we got a remake for a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Yeah, I'm not expecting Gen 9. It could happen, but I don't really expect it. I think Arceus is going to be like our good big main game of the year, and they can just support it with some DLC like we got with Crown Tundra and Isle of Arm for Sword and Shield. But there's a chance, I guess. I think if we get Gen 9, I don't think we'll get DLC, like at least expansive DLC for Arceus. I don't really think we're going to get both in this year. Beyond that, there will be some weird shit. Pokemon Sleep. Anyone? God, that was dumb. Maybe we'll finally see Detective Pikachu too. Been a while since we even got told about that. Yeah, I would like Arceus to get some updates. I'd like to see some new areas because I want to play the game more. It's a fucking fantastic game. Seriously. I don't know what they can really give us in more areas, but like definitely give us some new forms. I think there's only supposed to be like somewhere between like roughly 100 or something Pokemon left that are not available in any of the Generation 8 games or any of the games on Switch, period, including Let's Go. So I'd like to see them be brought in. That'd be cool. But I don't know if there's anything more they can really do story-wise. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's supposed to be like, isn't it like tomorrow morning? Alright, we got the blade sharpened now. Let's see what it says. Pokemon Sleep, here we come. Yeah, also, can we get some more Pokemon Snap DLC? Granted, I still haven't done the DLC for it yet. But I would like it, because I want to get back into that game again. I need to do that. Maybe when I finish this game, before I move on to Ghost Trick, I'll do like a little bit of Snap, just to see the new area. That could be fun. Oh, count up. There's a rolling pin and colander here. Oh yeah, we learned about that. Nothing useful. Trash can! Nothing inside. Well, better than being full of rotten food, I suppose. What about this one? Nothing in there. Hey Santa, thinking the trash really suits you. What the hell did you say? Listen, lady, I did you a favor. I knew you just piss and moan, so I did it for you. Oh my. I don't recall asking you to do anything. I gotta throttle you. Squeeze me. Does it feel colder in here? I mean, it can't be colder than the fucking freezer. Jumpy, you could probably heat stuff up on there now, you know? Like pork. Guess I'll put this meat on the grill. Hey, what are you doing? What are you going to do with the paper burns? Oh, come on, it'll be fine. It doesn't sound like it's gonna burn right away, right? Just gonna keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. Well, they can argue all they want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Cool, looks like it's about time. I'm gonna try taking the paper out. Jumpy, be careful. Sweet of her to care, but I need her to stop clinging to me. See? Told you. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. Well, it's not coming out. This thing's frozen stiff. I can't get it out. So we're gonna have to cut the meat? Yep, looks that way. And my item keeps disappearing. What is going on? This keeps happening. This didn't happen the last 2 streams. Alright, now that I've sharpened the knife, yes, I cut the pork. Awesome, Junpei. Now we can cut open the paper. Or cut out the paper, rather. C plus 10 plus F. Okay. Gonna write that down in my notes. I know we have meat listed as a 10, and there's a seafood dish that was an F on the the first paper we looked at, but there's nothing labeled C, so I don't really know what that's going to be about. C plus 10 plus F. Think it's some kind of code? Damn it, they're just screwing around. Junpei, do you know what C and F stands for? You think maybe it means corporate finance? I thought it was clever and funny. Lotus doing her best Jar Jar impression. F and C. Oh, God, don't bring up F. Fuck F! Okay, we'll look at that later. Oh, we've got here the pot and a frying pan. Oh, and a pressure cooker. Well, I guess we could use some of those as weapons. What kind of an idiot are you? You're gonna run around holding that thing while you're looking for the dead? Hey man, it's just a joke. Why so serious? Some bottles of seasoning in here. Okay. Oh, I already clicked that one. It's only a partition. There's nothing else worth noting here. This is the door we came in through. Okay. What's the point? All that's out there is an iron gate and a dead-end hallway. Yup. Might as well be locked for all the good going back out there do. And here's where we gotta escape. Damn it, didn't work. It doesn't matter how many times you try it. This door isn't going to open until we've solved all the puzzles in this room. I'm sure it's all just part of Zero's plan. I just can't imagine what his motives could be. Alright, I want to see this note again. Oh, that's not... Why are there so many plates? Yeah, I know. Okay, so yeah, it said... The section was actually replaced. Ooh, okay. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. Okay, that's what I got. And the plates on the table are 9 appetizers, 16 meat, 10 soup, 15 seafood. Maybe they're using hexadecimal here. And hexadecimal is... It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. Ah. You're familiar with base 10, right? Only because there's a puzzle about it. That's the normal system of numbers. Oh, wait, yeah. A base 10 and equivalents for hexadecimal would go like this. Fuck. Oh, well that seems... Wait a fucking minute. If A is 10, why is there 10 at the end of this thing? That seems weird. I'll write it down, though. Okay. And 10 is 16 for some weird fucking reason. The 10 becomes 16 in base 10. I know it sounds strange, but you can think of it as just 6 letters added onto the normal number system after 9. A 10... Okay, seems very strange. I think I get it. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then... Could... Okay. I'll go to that code. So this is what I'm thinking. Because the sheet of paper told us appetizer 9, meat dishes 10, soup 8, seafood F. And according to this whole base 16 thing, that should line up to being 9, 16, 10, 15. So let's try this out. Oh, lady, come on. This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Yeah, I know. Maybe if you put in the right number, it'll open the oven door. Junpei, maybe the note you found earlier. Yeah, I figured that out. Thank you. You know how to enter those numbers. I push the buttons. I think E is for enter and C is for clear. So basically, when I'm ready to see my answer, I press E. So if I screw up, I just press C, right? Lotus nodded. Alright, let's give it a shot. So, here we go. Oh. Oh, it's only 3 digits. What? Okay, well clearly I had something fucking wrong. It only takes 3 digits and it just changes the last one? That seems super weird. Well, now I'm confused. Oh. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind, I'm dumb. It's C plus 10 plus F. Ha! So the other thing had nothing to do with it. Okay. Fucking dumbass. So... Sounds like metal is falling. Well, I guess that went well. Yeah! The door opened. Good job, Junpei. The Saturn key card. But that's not a Saturn key thing, is it? Oh, it is. Okay. There's no Saturn sign next to us, so I wasn't really expecting that to work. Let's get out of here. Also, only just noticed it now, but I like the Lord of the Rings reference to the stream title. Ah, yes. Yes. I thought that would be funny. Let's go. Woohoo!
I think we've been here before.
Yep, and I'm just going to do a quick flowchart check. Okay, cool. So once we hit this point, we can just do skip text again until the game lets us do things again. Sweet. A metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were 2 elevators and the entrance to the kitchen.
The elevators are over there, so that means...
We went into the kitchen through that door and came out on this side.
That means the map was right.
Looks like.
Then let's use it to plan our next move.
Next move?
Yeah, we need to decide where to go from here, don't we?
He's right. Let's get started.
From the looks of it, there are 4 possible routes. Let's just keep it simple and call them A, B, C, and D.
Okay.
First, A and B.
They both seem to connect to a room that looks L-shaped.
Yeah, there were 2 doors. But they were both locked. We couldn't open them.
Now, route C. This goes all the way to the main staircase.
That means it's door 5, one of the numbered doors.
Then do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway?
No, I don't think we will.
Why not?
Look, there by the stairs. See how the gate is opened? When we went into the kitchen, it was closed. But it's open now. What do you think that means?
They opened it.
Most likely.
And if we take Route C, we're going backwards.
That would be pointless.
Yes.
Then that means...
All 4 of the map. They all look to the staircase. It's lazy curve leading down, deeper into the ship.
Route D, then.
D it is.
Yup, route D.
Then we're set.
They jog downstairs until they reach the C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
Let's check the next deck just to be sure.
Yeah, just like I thought. D deck is totally underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great
At
mirror.
least the water level hasn't really changed.
Small comfort.
May as well head back to C deck.
What else is here?
There are 2 elevators over there at the top of the stairs, just like the floor above.
Hold on. These are kind of different. See? There's a card reader on the side.
Another strange mark.
Yep.
Hey, look, it's Lotus's symbol.
Yeah, we made that. Why were we shouldn't be making that joke when she's here.
See? It's the woman symbol with horns on it. That seems like...
You deserved that, Junpei.
Ouch, ouch.
You so fucking deserved that. Lotus is taking hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently, and he thought he heard a loud growl coming from her throat.
What was that about the mark again?
Nothing.
Such violence. Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, June spoke up.
This is a Mercury symbol. The horns symbolize the wings on Hermes' staff.
Hermes, herpes, whatever.
It's a bit of a difference
If
there.
I can't get this thing to work, these elevators aren't going anywhere.
In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it.
Probably.
I guess we can't get on then. Let's just disregard the elevators for now.
How about this hallway on the left?
Whoa, there's so many doors.
Actually, I guess I can wait till we speed through text to clear this off. They weren't sure how many, but certainly not to be discouraging.
At least the sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them.
I think the sun already set.
I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon.
That's even worse.
Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the hallway on the other side, shall we?
Time to head back to the stairs.
To their right was a small hallway.
Now the right hallway.
Quickly, they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led toward the stern, and at its end was a set of double doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Let's open them.
All right, let's start with this one.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
It isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thrilled to have found an unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
Yep. He simply stood, unable to speak. The others simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak.
What the hell is this? This place is huge.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the 4 companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Is this a hospital?
He had at last been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room.
It definitely has the smell.
Could be. I see medicine cabinets and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Why is the second door blank? That seems kind of strange, don't you think?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Junpei headed toward the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3 on the left and moved to the right until he reached door 8.
Oh, it's no use.
Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point of the Nonary game? We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't... Wait a minute.
Yep.
What's wrong?
Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember? The red at the central staircase? If no one was inside, it said vacant.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But this one,
There's nothing on it.
right?
I wonder if it's broken.
Only one way to find out.
It's not responding.
All 4 took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled the lever, and still, it did nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red for door 8 that was behaving strangely.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
None of them are working.
What does it mean?
I knew it. They're broken. Zero sure sucks at maintenance.
No, that's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid, simple mistake?
Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working.
It was at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them.
I believe the bottom of the device has been removed.
Let's spin around to see?
Snake!
But it was more than just Snake.
Ace! Clover! 7!
Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who'd opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised.
How did you end up here?
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
Can I skip yet? Fuck. After Moda's silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile, almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no. The ninth man had died, but they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought. The joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive.
There you have it. Our half of the story.
His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent in thought. Then he spoke.
Okay, let me see if I got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were already gone.
And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything.
So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors.
So you went and had a look?
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices.
Uh-huh. So you followed the voices and came back here.
Indeed. And that was how we found you.
Why don't we check those 3 Reds again, just in case?
You're right. Huh. There's a long, thin gap on the bottom. I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
Hospital rooms. That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere.
I wonder what they all mean.
For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
God damn it, Kelly. Of all people, it was Seven who answered, and with calm confidence.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Junpei looked confused. So did everyone else.
What is this gigantic?
Can we please? Seven knit his brows for a moment, then began to
The
explain.
Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gourdane bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself. Which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean.
Unless it was switched!
But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gourdane bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured...
Oh, don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean,
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his
I
mouth.
don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Memory isn't back?
Junpei was, he felt, legitimately shocked by what seemed to be a new and very important piece of information. Everyone else, however, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Junpei as though he had said something very strange.
Yeah?
Your point being?
He decided to revise his attitude for the next
Wait,
question.
Was I the only one that didn't know?
June shouldn't know either. June didn't meet them until after we did. What the fuck?
Why?
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh?
Sus.
I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs.
Not June, you didn't!
I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
What?
Then, almost as if to save Junpei from further embarrassment... Something weird's there! A bell began to ring from far away.
A bell.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. 12.
It's midnight.
Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Don't freak out. We've already searched 4 of them.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Her earlier experiences had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust Seven. Seven scratched his head awkwardly.
Maybe?
Alright, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah, sounds straightforward enough.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right.
Then let's do this.
The details decided they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each of the rooms they'd been assigned. However... Can I? Yay! Okay, we're gonna start skipping. I'm gonna take the dog out while I let things skip around. And I'll just be back in a couple minutes. Oh, goody, we get to go look for where Snake is. The casino's enough, even though we haven't been there. Okay. Let's just click it. Is that where she's going to do her thing? Sure, we'll listen. I guess I didn't really have to do that. Whatever. Gives me time to erase things. And for the dog to eventually be like, hey, let me back in. Judging from the X'd out key further on the timeline, you were good to skip ahead, I think. Oh, cool. I had wondered about that. Oh, well, never mind, I can't just yet. Dog one's back in. Yeah, speaking of saving. Ah, damn it, it didn't work? I thought I'd set up a command earlier before we started for exclamation save, but I guess it didn't work. Damn it. Fuck. That's what I was meaning when I said at the beginning. It's like, oh yeah, I did something for this stream. Huh. I thought it was gonna work, and I guess it didn't. Alright, now that you're back in here, let's close the door. Go lay down. You're fine now. You've been outside. I still can't flowchart. Who do you think fixed the thing for us? Lotus.
You think maybe it was Lotus? They say the first person at the scene is the most suspicious.
True.
Yeah, that's possible. You don't have anything else to suggest she did it, though. Might as well just suspect everybody.
Junpei furrowed his brow.
So, in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red.
Santa grinned.
Bingo! We have a winner.
Can I? Yeah, I can now. Okay, let's go ahead and save on an actual new slot this time. Because it's weird, you have to click the thing, and I thought I was on a new slot every time we were saving before, but I actually never was. And now we are. Okay. No, we're not returning to the title screen. But now we should be able to jump forward a bit. It won't be too far, because I'll just be jumping here so I can pick another room. So answer me this, Kelly, because I want to make sure I understand things correctly here. These locked keys and these locked padlock. I'm not quite sure exactly what to mean. Like, I know up here at the top it says locked and unlocked. I get that. But does this mean that I'm locked out of going this path? Like, can I now not do this door? Is that what that means? Or is it just me like, if I go there now, I'll see different things? I'm not too clear. And I'm hoping to have some kind of an answer before we move forward. Because I want to make sure that I have the right knowledge that I need before we start actually doing things. So, I'm going to give you a minute as I check messages. And drink the rest of my water. Shit. Ooh, yay! Story updates. Nice. Love when my stories have updates. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh boy, I'm being asked opinions about things, and I do not have time to give a lengthy response. Alright, so I'm expecting an answer from Kelly sooner. But maybe Kelly is looking things up or is away. So I guess I'm just going to oh, sweet, there it is. The lock keys represent whether you've made a critical choice up until that point. They are crossed out now because you reset and are now in door 4's path. They aren't perma-locked or anything like that. Okay. So I can still go down that, and I'll have a different route. So if I go down these exact two doors again, I'll probably now see this ending. So I should be able to jump straight to here now, and we just see what actually is going to be down this ending. I suggest you jump ahead to the bottom. Excellent! Awesome! That's what I was hoping to hear. Let's do it. Let's see what this fucking ending. Let's get ending number 2. I hate that I have to click this thing again. And skip! Oh, new dialogue. Here's where the swap was. Okay. Junpei and June ran for the central hospital room and looked around.
Here. No, she isn't.
They searched a little longer, but with no luck. They couldn't find Clover.
There's no sign of her. Let's go.
Finally, they gave up and left the central hospital room. Even though we knew about the snake arm thing, we didn't go check on it. That seems interesting. Huh. Okay. Slowly they made their way back to the hallway. At last, they reached the stairs, and Junpei
All
spoke.
right. I'm thinking we should probably split up. I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck. June, you can take the stairs up to B deck.
All right, that sounds good. But,
What?
could you stop calling me by that code name when we're alone?
Oh my god.
Huh? Sure, right. I'll do that.
Yeah, I learned about Snake's arm in the room with Clover and Lotus, but I did that room still in this timeline. Because that was this one. And I still would have gone through this. Because I just jumped straight down, I thought. Huh. Ew. There's a reason Junpei persisted in calling her June, even when they were alone. Although, perhaps not the best reason. He was embarrassed to call her by the nickname he'd used when they were children. Connie. 9 years ago, it came naturally, after all. They were children. But now that they were adults, it felt strange. Regardless of what he might hope for, to call a woman he wasn't dating by such a childish nickname felt odd to him. This is how we know that Junpei has never been on the internet. He's never called other people by nicknames that they had online. It's a luck piece to represent as if you hadn't made that choice, thus simulating its slightly new ending. Oh, okay. So... Huh. Okay. Of course, to call her Ms. Kurashiki would be even more awkward. It's simply Kurashiki would seem a little brusque. And although he couldn't put his finger on why, it felt somewhat forward to call her Akane when they hadn't seen one another for so long. In short, it was something easier for him to call her June, and leave it at that.
Jumpy.
No, it's nothing.
All right, I'm going then.
Yeah, be careful.
June, or perhaps more appropriately, Connie, blushed and smiled.
You be careful too, Jumpy.
Yeah, got it. Take care.
Man, I do not give a single fuck about this pairing. Junpei looked after her for a moment as she ran up the stairs, then turned around and took off for the hallway. Not every game needs a romance subplot, damn it! Jesus. Kinda weird to explain, we just go with it. I am. I'm just going with it. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. But to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. This is a very ominous thing to be saying right now. A light in a dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. He opened the elevator door, and there she was. A woman sat, slouched against the wall. Lotus. Oh shit! Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp, and her skin smooth and pale as always. Okay, she's dead. And a little green. Was covered in bright red blood. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe, and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. He felt his stomach somersault. Junpei's mind wouldn't blink. All his thoughts were replaced with endless, hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk toward Lotus, slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse. No rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm. Something, somewhere, in Junpei's shaken mind, told him that meant she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She had been killed. Someone had killed her. There was a deep cut in the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife then? Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart once. She would have died immediately. He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice. Lotus's bracelet was gone.
Lastly, we have discussed how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. their heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confine of their ship, or the paraxatic wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
So obviously Ace killed her, right? Because now he has the 1, he has the 9, he has the 8, he can escape. Seems pretty clear to me. So they might have the number... Oh, so was that why the killer didn't lose his life? So they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining bracelet number 8. Who is that? Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? The thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when... Oh! We dead too! He heard a noise, and it was like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. His wet meat. It struck him as strange as the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain, there was heat. Extreme heat as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made the connection. He had been stabbed. But where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. But as he did, the knife dug itself in deeper, twisting viciously. He collapsed to the floor, a puppet with its strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing, save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. 2 tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came... nothing. He felt no emotions. Not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. His killer glanced down at his body. Then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. His eyesight began to fade. The world grew blurry and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon, it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness he fell. Into zero. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. Bad end! Cut and run is our achievement for that one. Kind of sucks that it doesn't show that at the top corner there. Would you like to save? Yeah, I do, honestly. And we'll just go to another slot because I wanted to keep doing that. Oh, there's a knife there now. Well, we've done everything on this track. Okay, alright. So, that happened. Game over! Knife ending! And this is generally viewed as the lamest ending. Yeah, I can kind of understand that. Nobody likes to see it when the protagonist dies, and we literally learned nothing of that ending. I'm not surprised that they didn't show us who killed us, because that would really tell us everything about this ending here, which, you know, they didn't want to do that. They still wanted us next to go through that mystery, so. Because it seems pretty obvious it had to be Ace, right? Come on. Alright, and I think that's going to be a good stopping point here for today's episode. According to these after facts, so I don't really know strictly what I just did. But I hope you enjoyed what we just saw, and tune in for the next episode of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. See you all next time. Bye, everyone.